we really go back to the 80s.
Yes, yes.
You take them out, take them out. Yeah.
Then for us,
You gotta bring that back.
but I'm still, by the way, I'm still exactly as explained to this my colleague Emiko Sengo, the one columnist. I am still exactly as good as I was as a dancer, but I just don't want the audience.
So basically,
I don't want just that.
today I'm here to share about
He wrote in this post.
Uganda.
He says, look, I go to the clubs.
Uganda, many
I
people.
don't even like going to clubs. People don't give me space to dance because people don't know how to dance.
No one saying basically. I've never gone to clubs. I don't go. I never, even as a teenager, I've never gone to nightclubs. Just because I can't stand the sight of people don't know how to dance. So we, the expert dancers, on the floor, we're all these people who don't know what they're doing. They're taking up all the space. So I just can't dance.
All right, and you know, earlier on actually, we were having lunch. He actually pulled some moves for me. That's a simple coffee he wants for me. And just got the coffee and then he moved. I said, hey, we take another break. For the final part, we'll talk about serious stuff. I know most of you have gone back. You don't understand.
Yo, what's up? What's up, everyone? 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 Basically, I'm here to talk about Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. Yes,
After failing to find a common ground with the government of Uganda, I thought that benefited from the funding of BDF1 if closed. However, sources within the defunct High Court Secretariat claim that some of the European organizations that extended interest to fund and revive dialogue have been frustrated.
In some power centers, it may be the security services are not yet fully.
to be honest, I really want to
comprehend the role of dialogue.
have a mandate on me
Uh,
that I have.
functions fully.
It's
Just
about
like the issue of human
prisons.
rights and torture.
I want to do ministry in prisons.
Will find difficulty in meeting
My
the process
idea
in
is,
what they want to do. But you see, if someone is funding
you
the
know,
process, they should be involved. Be sure how their money is being utilized.
I want to encourage members of the national
my
that it is very difficult to put demands to an association you don't belong to.
The ruling NM, a major stakeholder in the defunct political organization, denies having restricted new foreign agencies that are seeking to fund IPOD.
It is high time Uganda, as a country, started funding the activities of IPOD. To welcome all the other potential donors, provided the conditions that they set are compatible
go live.
with the sober politics in Uganda.
After IPOD closed, the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy, through the funding of Netherlands Foreign Affairs Ministry, have instead decided to fund youth training on democracy and research across all political parties. The Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy, country representative Frank Cruiser says NIMD are among the organizations willing to fund IPOD but have declined on grounds that IPOD lacks inclusiveness.
Now, our further engagement with IPOD is really conditional on whether IPOD can be inclusive, that's having everybody on board. As we speak, two political parties, namely NUP and FDC, have not yet signed up to the IPOD dialogue, and because of that, we may not be in position to continue hosting that important dialogue facility.
NIMD insists dialogue is the ideal thing for Uganda's political journey.
We're also hoping to keep engaging with the leaders of NUP and the leaders of FDC to try and get back on the dialogue table. Because when they get back on the dialogue table, it becomes easier for us to engage, to work with them in that space. But we're not giving up on dialogue. I hope that 2023 we will introduce new dialogue spaces.
Richard Olway, NBS, live at 9.
Dr. Herner's understanding and interpretation of the law in the Republic, Uganda Law Reform Commission is mandated to translate the Constitution and other law books into Ugandan local dialects. But despite this legal requirement, lawyers note widespread ignorance of the law of the Republic. In its report, we delved into the public's capacity to access and understand the law. As it is a legal principle that ignorance of the law is no defense, a big percentage of Ugandans continue to fall victims According to human rights lawyers, that George Moses government has completely failed in making sure that its heterogeneous society is access and understands the law. To acquaint himself or herself with the provisions of the Constitution in order to uphold and defend it. In that, the Secretary, Uganda Law Reform Commission, Jacqueline Akuno, affirms that countless copies of elections have so far been produced and disseminated in libraries across the communities in the country, which human rights lawyer George Moses strongly
right now you can go,
We do
I can go
distribute these
live
translations to the relevant
both
communities,
on
the communities that speak
TikTok,
the specific local language.
Facebook,
For instance, if a translation is
Twitter.
done in Runyoro, Michigan, during the translation process, we should have worked with that community, so we'll be
and
able to know
Facebook.
which community speaks that
So
local
right
language.
now we are live on
We share
Twitter,
copies with the
Facebook,
community. We also
and
deposit
YouTube
copies of the translated laws in the
for a better
various
cause.
libraries.
And since 1995, it hasn't even received translation in the major dialects. Shows you that really it is a dereliction of duty.
Yeah.
And you have said the job. Because at least the constitution, it affects each and every person.
At the head offices of Uganda Law Reform, one can be availed several copies of translations of the Constitution and acts into several languages like Luganda, Nyakole, Chiga, Ateso, Akilimajon, Acholi, Konzo, Kuma, and the rest. But the lingering question is how have these translations reached the public domain?
I wouldn't just make the comment I said the public has access, but what we did in order to also help us audit ourselves in terms of how we perform on our mandate, we did request Uganda Bureau of Statistics around August last year to include parameters in the Uganda National Household Survey, an aspect to do with the proportion of the public with access to updated laws.
Those which are done, even these things like Land Act, are done by NGOs in the course of their work, which is basically
So right now
secondary
we live.
role, but it's supposed to be primarily done by the government.
I'm
and it's
live.
a failure of duty.
According to the Secretary, Uganda Law Reform Commission, up to 144 million shillings was received in the financial year 2021-2022 for the translations, and 180 million shillings was earmarked for 2022-2023. According to Higher says, the Commission spent more than 30 million shillings for translation, which adds up to 240 million shillings.
Would exclude that and specifically first refer to the Constitution alone. We did 8 translations of the Constitution local language last financial year.
I'm
And this
live
financial year we're
on
looking at
TikTok,
2010.
WhatsApp,
So our target going forward is that every
Facebook,
financial year we should be able to translate the
Twitter.
Constitution
I'm
into
live right now.
local languages.
Allegedly,
So I have
the
3
Commission and the lawyers have a
platforms.
divided view on whether or not reading
I
and
don't take it
understanding the law
lightly.
minimizes crime.
So some of these offenses that people commit maybe would have been avoided if they knew that it's an offense.
Typically, if we make reference to the Uganda Police Annual Crime Rate Report, and we consider the crimes that are most committed, if you look at crimes that relate to obtaining money by false pretense, unlawful evictions, murder, robbery, are those crimes which people commit because they don't know that it is illegal?
In 2010, the Attorney General was brought to court for alleged government failure to translate the 1995 Constitution into 56 indigenous languages. Though the government tried to challenge the petition, the High Court quashed all government's prayers and maintained the case, which is still ongoing. Shami Malkoza, Adam Mwamanya, NBS, live at 9.
The leaders in Butaletra have expressed concern over the continued failure by the population to embrace government programs, saying this is partly the reason for fighting poverty in the district. The locals, however, put the blame on the district technocrats, whom they accuse of always diverting resources for selfish reasons. This as several community agriculture infrastructure improvement program projects that cost the government billions of shillings are abandoned in the push of a lack of money to keep the machine
We need to have one.
3 structures in Bukosa County, Utalija district, were constructed by the government of Uganda in 2010 under the Community Agriculture Infrastructure Improvement Program. These buildings were later equipped with machines, with two of the structures housing rice mills, while one houses a maize mill. These were later handed over to the farmers for utilization. But years later, the farmers failed to maintain the machines, prompting the sub-county leadership to tender it out
So right
to a
now,
private
I'm
investor
live.
at a cost of 6 million shillings annually to help in raising local revenue.
When they brought these machines, their interest was to give the community. But as time moved on and moved on, this machine started breaking down. And when people would bring their rice and grind the rice, you discover that at the end of it, what the man they would pay would end up still in the hands of the community, and therefore they would not go ahead to maintain these machines.
The facilities were abandoned by the investor after failing to pay the accumulated electricity bill worth millions of shillings.
yatubba n'abamotaazi n'akozesa amasannyalaze n'alemerera okukasasula.
Other facilities built at Kapchorwa sub-county were equally deserted by the farmers.
That was attributed to the poor management of the team that we gave to handle those machines. You discover that this one in Katonga Ofuja was the first to break down. And then the second one was that one of Mlando in Utarija.
So right
The
now,
collapse of these agro-processing plants has greatly affected rice farmers in the district.
We had a market, a weekly market here.
as for me, I can go both live. I can go live on TikTok.
Because of
I'm live on TikTok.
the feria, the
My
impact of the
Facebook
feria
page.
is what? This facility. There's no market at all.
The local leaders say they have for the past 2 years tried reaching the relevant authorities, including their political heads, over the collapse of these facilities, but in vain.
But we don't see them. Now, farmers don't know where to go, who to assist. MPs come and go, but after that, nobody comes to this kind of facility. You can only go ahead and work on those machines when people accept to form what we call cooperatives. And I'm very sure, come the next financial year, even those machines that are found in rural areas like that one of Utareja Rural, we are going to encourage the community to come up with cooperatives.
These now demand that the machines be fixed and handed over back to the farmers for better management.
When you handle your own thing, you know how to go about it. You know where the problem is, and you know how to solve it. These machines, as a district, we are planning to give them back to community. But we are only going to give communities that are organized, that have come up with cooperatives, and those that have got the right agenda and objectives.
Under the Community Agriculture Infrastructure Improvement Program, over 4 agro-processing plants were constructed in Butaleja district. Out of the number, 2 are partially working, while the 2 are completely down for more than 3 years now. Alex Mugasha, David Ochen, NBS, Live at 9.
Education experts have informed the government to overhaul the primary school curriculum so that pupils join the lower secondary competence-based curriculum when they're already immersed into the norm. According to the experts, the competence-based curriculum for skills development should be an ecosystem that prepares the child right from infantry stage up to future prospects. More in this report.
PLE for release donation. The national talk is largely dominated by nothing else except the release of PLE results, where pupils with good grades have reason to jubilate on those that weren't graded hard to push way forward. This, several education experts, especially at primary level, want the government to overhaul the primary education curriculum like what has been done to lower secondary.
How are the learners going to succeed if they have stop within the primary level, if they don't go beyond the primary level?
There is a need to have an overhaul in the education system if we have to go competence-based. Then it should start from primary, go through secondary.
According to retired teacher Agri Ochen Obonyam, there's need for inculcation of other skills in evaluation of PLE as a determinant of pupils' maturity.
Let's look at the skills that our children need
or will need tomorrow to be developed in them today that will help them tomorrow. Some of those skills they think can be developed within these pupils in the early stages.
Obunyo explains that the educational stakeholders should desist from the misconception that primary children are still young, but rather prepare them for maturity in the state of entering secondary school as if they're starting a new life.
From primary 4, the child's understanding is opening up. Yeah? Whether it is welding, whether it is tailoring, whether it is actual farming, most of those things come in at that time. When the child is about 10 years.
Education consultant and primary school proprietor Jimmy Kungu accuses educational stakeholders enacting policies without evaluating them. For example, emphasis on Kiswahili and local languages which are not examinable at PLE.
And local languages should be examined, and if possible, the students should be also examined in some skills like art and crafts or in skills such as agriculture, which is the backbone of our country.
From Education Administrator and General Secretary Ignacio Gilbert Baguma asserts that the gospel or competence-based skills development should dominate the entire education sector, but not depending on short-term credit training.
Primary was left behind.
So
Now they are going to the A level, but universities and
I was testing my
should equally prepare.
live. I can go live now, you know. I can go live.
The entire nation is counting on the Education Review Commission that was recently instituted to overhaul the entire system. Shami Nalakoza, Adam Noronya, NBS, live at 9.
Now, voter mobilization does matter a lot for any political party. The reason the ruling National Resistance Movement has already hit the ground running in Serere ahead of the 23rd February 2023 by-election. Now, joining us tonight is the interim director for mobilization, Rosemary Senide. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. How is the battle for Serere shaping up, given the division among supporters with Okabe Sam on the one hand and other flag bearers? Talk to us about that.
Okay, first of all, I would like to condole with the people of Serere. And of course, we are sad that we lost a member of parliament. But like it is, we have to go for this by-election. We are ready as a party to go and campaign. Yes, I do appreciate the fact that when during the burial, many statements were made about supporting the son of the late. But of course, we must also not forget that, you know, at such times, there could be statements made out of emotions. But of course, we have a law that guides the NRM party, and we know very well that now in that law, our constitution provides clearly that a member holds a flag for 5 years. So we have a flag bearer, and of course, as a party, we are behind the flag bearer. So we are going to campaign. We've had serious and difficult scenarios, probably worse than Serere, but God has been on our side. We have been able to win all the by-elections. So we are optimistic that we shall also win this by-election. There is nothing impossible in the eyes of God and before God, who always leads us when we do this kind of work and our mobilization. So we are going to mobilize well, and we hope the people of Serere will actually understand, because we know they support the party, and we believe they will also agree to the party position.
So you talked about sentiments that were expressed during the burial, and I'd like to drive you towards the growing trend of children in court stepping into the shoes of their deceased parents who held political offices. Now, I know everyone has a right to obviously contest, but isn't this a risk to merit-based politics on which NRM was established?
But of course, yes, we know we have seen such scenarios. For instance, when we lost the speaker, his son came on board. But of course, we must not forget that some of those situations is because those people were the flag bearers for the party. That's why it was not difficult for us to agree to the decisions of the people. But in this case, in the case of Serere, the case of Serere is quite different, because the late was an independent. And of course, we are talking about a party, we are talking about the flag bearer, somebody holding the NRM flag. So our constitution is very clear, like I've already said. We cannot go outside what the constitution says. Well, some people have been giving an example of Soroti, but of course we must also appreciate that for Soroti was a different case, where the flag bearer handed over the flag. He gave us back the flag because he had other things to do. So he gave us back the flag and we had to choose or to find a flag bearer. But in cases where we lose people, our friends, our members of parliament or other leaders, and people want the child or their children to take up their positions, it must be, if somebody was a flag bearer, it becomes a bit easy. But in this case, it is quite different. But of course, we shall overcome it.
I'd like to drive you to something else that's not related to this area by-election. Let's talk about the visibility of the first son and General Kaino Lawan-Ozi. How does the party feel about this in terms of possible division of the support base?
Well, first of all, we need to appreciate the fact that a serving member, or Mohozi is a serving member of the UPDF. And of course, the laws of the land are very clear that such a person cannot subscribe to a party. In that case, for now, he's not a member of NRM as such. But of course, I cannot say he does not support the party because he is the son of the revolution. So we want to believe, and the fact that he's also an advisor to the chairman of the party, and who is also the president, we know very well he's an advisor of special operations. The kind of mobilization he's doing, it could be part of the work he's supposed to do. So for us as a party, of course, we may not have a problem with that. He's doing mobilization. And of course, we know very well that with the party has got leadership, we have the stake, which leads the party. We have the national chairman, our president. And of course, when that time comes, we shall get advice or guidance from our party, because the leadership of the party definitely, when there is a decision that is made, they will definitely guide us on what to do. But of course, I do appreciate that the members of NRM are together, and we shall continue to be together, and we shall mobilize our people towards the right goal.
NRM Director for Mobilization, Rosemary Senide, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Now moving on, water shortage has hit Almira City, with some parts of the town spending more than a week without the supply of tap water. Currently, most residents are relying on boreholes and deep wells in the outskirts of the town. National Water and Storage Corporation says the supply is being affected by a major upgrade of the pumping station in
Robina Abio stumbles as she carries 7 empty yellow water jerrycans. Quite unusual. Abio is searching for a water point where she can collect water for home use. She is one of the many families currently struggling to cope with the crisis of water supply in Iraq City. Because of the Iraq City's worsening water problems, women like Abiu have to spend more than 2 hours away from their homes to fetch water for their households. At Chirombesel in the Iraq City West Division, women, children, and men have to show their strength before they can reach the water point.
The reason why water is not, we are running after around the engineer to install new pump. We completely put off the system.
But the National Water and Sewage Action Area Manager for Iraq, Genezio Tukahirwa, says the supply is being affected by a major upgrade of the pumping chain at the pumping station in the Kolo district.
Yes, we had planned this area how to this pump installed for the dry season. Dry season water can use the demand level. But unfortunately, the supply came in at this rate. That's why we're doing it.
Iraq City has a population of more than 100,000 people, with a greater percentage depending on the national water supply. With the current upgrade, Tukahirwa says production will double to meet the